Well, let me state that the lady who was the local government inspector the person who was the local government inspector, the LGR who invited her, is a female, but we never met her. They said she has a deputy. We also met the lady who apparently called her on the phone and lambasted her and threatened her. But we opted not to engage with her because by the time we got there, she was very sober. I think they realized what they were up against. So there was no point. We focused on the business of the which was to meet the LGI, the local government inspector of the NYC, who we believe absconded because she knew that this was not going to be a very nice Monday. Then, with regards to the discipline they're talking about in the NYC, there's no point of the NYC Act that says that Nigerians cannot complain if they are facing hardship. President Tinubu had announced that coppers are supposed to receive 77,000 naira per month after he increased salaries of workers, even though that is peonage, it's too small. But these coppers are still receiving 33,000 naira a month. To claim that there's one NYC Act or discipline that says you can't complain, you can't say that things are terrible, it's just, as you know, an attempt to silence her. The NYC Act, which is a decree promulgated in 1973 and amended by several military people, cannot supersede what is known universally as the right to free speech. She's expressing herself freely as guaranteed by international instruments. I don't generally like to refer to the Nigerian Constitution because that's an illegitimate document promulgated by the military. And that's not a people's document. I've always said that on your shows. But, you know, she has her fundamental rights to complain. And you can't, as it's normally said in Nigeria as general parlance, that you can't beat a baby up and ask the baby not to cry or pinch a baby and not allow her to cry. So there's no NYC Act. I will tell you that the NYC itself makes provision for political enlightenment groups as part of their community service. I don't know if they still exist, but when I was in NYC, I did participate in political enlightenment of the populace. NYC group, NYC members are allowed to go and conduct elections. During 2000 and I think it was 2001 or so, they were killed in the line of duty. So people who can die for your country during elections are not good enough to speak when they're facing hardship. I don't know what kind of discipline they're talking about. You know, I went through the NYC in 1995-96. My NYC certificate was never given to me for political reasons. But when I took them to court in Lagos, they couldn't come up with any reason. They just said, well, I've not exhausted the opportunities provided for me to address the issues internally. And until today, I never got an NYC certificate.
Wow, that's interesting to know. That would now lead me to ask, you know, do you think that Ms. Ogunmaye may just be, victimized the way that you allege you were? And, you know, secondly, there seems to be a growing trend where